To get started with the printable iron-on, open up a new project in Cricut Design Space. Once you have that open, click on Upload Image. Then browse and drag and drop the file that you want. In this case, we're using our Desert Vibes, the PNG version. I always click on Complex Image, and luckily, because we have this checkerboard, it means it's already transparent background. So when we click Continue, we don't have any white space that we need to go in and erase. If this was white, then we would click on our Select and Erase tool, and once we have it over our image here, you just click on it and it would erase any of the white space that we want cut once we print this out. You can also click the preview button down here and you can see where it's going to cut. It's still working, but then it will show you the actual cut marks. We're going to hide that preview and we're going to click Continue. And we're using the PNG version of this Desert Vibes, and we're going to save. Make sure it's clicked on Save as a Print Then Cut Image. And then we'll click here on our uploaded image and insert it onto our canvas. Now we just have to size it to fit the shirt that we want to put it on. So that is, I can zoom out and use the arrow over here to drag it to the size I want. Or if you're not able to do that, then you can go up here at the top menu bar and click the size. And I don't want to unlock it because I like the proportions, so I leave it locked, but I can make it smaller by changing the size here. But I know I want it about 9 inches wide, so we're just going to have it do it all in one fell swoop there. Okay. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller since it's for my younger daughter t-shirt. So I like 7 inches is about good. And you can see over here in our layers panel that it's already a print image, so we don't have to do anything there. Keep that as print. And now we can go ahead and click Make It. And then load your, this is where we need to read the instructions of the printable iron-on that we've decided to use. Whether it's Cricut brand or another brand, you have to read the instructions. Because even if it's versus for light fabrics or dark fabrics, you may need to mirror the image. For the iron-on that I'm going to be using, I do not need to mirror the image. So if you have to mirror the image, usually when you're putting it on light fabrics, for the Cricut iron-on, printable iron-on, you need to mirror the image, but you need to read the instructions on that to make sure whether or not you need to mirror the image or not mirror the image when you print it. So now that I have that ready to go, I'm going to click Continue, and then I will load my printer and select my maker. My printable iron-on into my printer, and they work with jet printers, not laser printers. So make sure you have the right kind of printer. And I've turned this bleed on so that when it cuts, it will get the right color and it'll cut really nice. So that's why it looks a little bit fuzzy here at the top and kind of over here. I'm ready to go, so I click Print. My design is now printed onto my printable iron-on, so I need to get it cut out. And I'm going to use my Cricut Maker. So I'm going to browse all the materials, and I want to type in printable iron-on. And make sure you have for dark or for light. Select which one you are using and click Done. And like I said, I'm using a different kind other than the Cricut Printable Iron On, so I did not need to mirror my image for this. So we are ready to go, because most iron-on material you do have to mirror your image, but for printable iron-on you just need to read the directions and make sure that you have the correct thing selected. You also need to make sure that when you put the printed design down on your cut mat that it looks exactly like it does here over on this left-hand side on this mat. So that's how I'm going to place my design onto my mat before I load it into my machine. I've got my design loaded onto my mat, and it looks just like it does on the computer. So now I'm ready to load it into my machine and continue on. It's all loaded and ready to go, so I'm going to click the little go button here. And because it is a print and cut, it's going to read those registration marks first. So it knows where to cut, and then it's going to cut out my design. I've laid down my Easy Press mat onto my work surface, and I'm going to just warm up the area where I want to put my design. Okay. I'm going to make sure I have the correct temperature set on my Easy Press, and I'm going to lay my design down. Again, you just have to read the instructions on your printable iron-on to know exactly how they work in adding the designs to your shirts or whatever surface you want to put this design on. Okay, so now that I have this put down where I want it to. Now this particular type of printable iron-on requires the use of a piece of parchment paper to protect the design when you iron it. So I have my parchment paper on, I'm going to stick my Easy Press down, and I'm going to give it some light pressure and hold it down. Alright, let's see how that one does. I might want to iron it just one more time to make sure that it's really on there, but that looks pretty good. Okay, it's ready, so we're going to do it one more time. Light pressure. The Easy Press mat makes iron-on material really easy to work with, giving it that good surface to use our Easy Press on. It's really nice. I really like it. And that's it. We can save that piece of parchment for another design, but there you go.